The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, king of beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Toughen up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, king of beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What's up, YouTube? It is Dolly back again live from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina tonight. Okay, so we're on vacation. So me and PJ hit the road today and we drove all the way across Virginia. We went mining some rocks. Okay, PJ found her some pretty cool rocks. And then we drove all the way back across North Carolina into South Carolina. And now we are in Myrtle Beach tonight. We're going to be talking about the Emmanuel Haro case. Also, I got a little update on Brandy Neal that I'm going to be giving you guys. And it's good news. It is good news. But first, of course, I'm going to need you to leave your DNA all over that like button, just in case you go missing in the hills of Tennessee or a shark gets you here in Myrtle Beach. Dolly's going to have to track you down, okay? I'm going to have to track you down, so I'm going to need your DNA, fingerprints on file, and if you're brand new, of course, sub up the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and feel free to share this ugly face right here on any social media platform you choose. Now, before I get into these people that are facing legal problems, I want to give my warnings like I always do. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing as fact. We're not taking calls tonight because, of course, I'm on the road. Everyone is innocent to proving guilty in a court of law. That means Jake and Rebecca, even though we know they're guilty as hell in our mind, in our opinion. And the biggest one of them all is never, ever, whatever you do, don't try to be Dolly at home. Ain't that right, PJ?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You don't trust me. You don't want to put up with me. You don't want to put up with me. So anyway, as you can see from the title of this video, it says the baby will never be found. And I've been saying this all along, okay? But the neighbors came out, did an interview with the son, and they were saying that they don't believe the baby would be found. Now, the son actually talked to a couple neighbors, and we seen one of the neighbors firsthand, because I've been out there, and, I've seen how the neighbors act, and the neighbors are not really close. Jake and Rebecca live pretty far back. Their front yard's pretty big, and in their front yard is a big solar panel, and then behind that a good ways is their house. So they're actually off the road a pretty good ways. They don't have a really close neighbor. Now, the neighbor across the street is a total a-hole, okay? And I know y'all know what that A stands for. And he didn't really like the fact that people were out there. He wasn't very supportive of the prayer vigil and the memorial that was set up out there, because I guess he didn't like people out in front of his shack of a house that he got in the desert, right? I don't know why. Maybe he thought somebody might water his grass that he don't got. My whole thing was he had a water hose out there spraying people. And I was thinking to myself, why the hell do you have a water hose? You don't have any grass. Unless it's to wash his redneck truck. I don't know. I really don't know. But he was a total a-hole. But the neighbors come out and told the son that, neighbors around there, they kind of stick to themselves. And trust me, if you live in the middle of the desert, there's a reason you live in the middle of the desert. I don't think most people want to live in the middle of the desert. They want to be secluded away from everybody, so they get them a piece of nice land in the middle of a damn cactus field, and they pop up a house because they don't want to be around large amounts of people, okay? So it wasn't like any of the neighbors could have heard anything or seen anything, right? I don't think none of the neighbors even seen the baby ever, okay? Which is pretty crazy because, the grandmother didn't see the baby because they said the baby needed shots. Now, there's rumors going around that they are searching a landfill. And the problem is they don't know when this baby was thrown away and where it possibly could have been thrown away. So unlike the Quentin Simon case in Savannah, Georgia, which we will be in Savannah, tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Tomorrow we'll be in Savannah, Quentin's home of Quentin Simon. But we're going to be Tybee Island or somewhere? We're going to be on Tybee Island. We're living it up, okay? So we'll be on the beach. We're
bad news. The one bag that's in the car has the stuff.
The one bag in the car has what's okay. I'll go back down and get it after I'm done with this. So unlike Quentin Simon, they knew what dumpster Quentin Simon was thrown into, and they each dumpster in each trash truck has a certain part of the dump that they dump on, so it's kind of gridded out. But the problem with this is they don't know where this baby was thrown away, or if this baby was thrown away, and if he is in the landfill, they don't have any clue about the landfill, okay, where it could be. So the odds of this is, if he is in a landfill, very slim of finding him, almost next to impossible. And the neighbors believe if he was dumped out on I-60, that there's so many coyotes out there, and they say they can hear them from their house, and even though the mountains are on the other side, that they hear them like they're just right outside their house. So they believe that if the baby was dumped out there, the dingoes got the baby, okay? Not the dingoes, but the coyotes done got the baby, and they'll never find this child. And even if that ain't the case, they said that there's so much land out there and so many mountains, and this is the same thing I said. If you didn't want to be somebody to be found, you would never find them. Right? Like, listen, there's 836 of you in this chat room right now, which you better be hitting the like button, because I could take you out there, San Bernardino, into them deserts and them mountains, and they wouldn't find 836 of you. Most likely one small child, which is absolutely horrible. And, there's all the rumors of the confessions, and it was just all BS. There's been no confessions. Jake allegedly is cooperating with the police, and by cooperating, he's showing them locations that they had went to, or he's telling on Rebecca like he did Vanessa, okay? Helena, thank you so much for your super chat. Helena is the first one on the Dolly train tonight. She's riding the Blessed Express. Now, listen, you ain't blessed unless you own the Express, all right? And thank you, Helena. We'll put that to something nice on this trip. So thank you, big virtual hugs to you. But I told you I would still be here with you, usually probably late night. During the day, me and PJ's out doing things to celebrate her vacation because she got 2 weeks off of work. So there was just some of the things I wanted to touch in on tonight. And, Vanessa, the ex-wife, they had a child. The child's name, what, Promise?
Vanessa's cousin adopted the baby girl
And changed her name to
Promise.
Promise. But that's the baby that had the fractured skull, the broken ribs, the broken leg. Okay, that's a lot of broken bones for a baby. And Jake said he dropped her in the sink while he was giving her a bath. Now, I don't know what they got, a concrete sink? How do you fracture a baby's leg, broken ribs, fractured skull from dropping a baby in the sink? He must have slung the baby into the sink. So, Vanessa's mother came out and said that Jake was a monster.
She called him the devil.
The devil said that he got away with murder, and she believes he killed this baby. And the injuries to her granddaughter, Promise, that's dealing with now, what is it, cerebral palsy?
Yes.
That she suffers from now. She's bedridden, and has to deal with these problems for the rest of her life. So do you think about it like this? He didn't just destroy the life of one baby. He destroyed the life of two babies. So this man is a complete monster. And, the whole thing is this. When he gave his interview, he was saying how much Rebecca loved the kids, right? But as a woman, could you stand by and let some man hurt your babies? Right? I don't get it. And beat up on you and you not do nothing and not tell. Rebecca is standing by her story that this baby was kidnapped at the Big Five Sporting Goods, that she heard Ola and somebody hit her in the head, kidnapped the baby, and she's a victim, right? Which is just the craziest story, because we know that is lies, right? I mean, anybody with any common sense could tell you, hey, this stuff right here is absolutely a lie. So the $1 million question is, where's the baby, right? Dolly's catch line, where's the baby? And that we may never know, because I really think Jake is playing games. I hear you, no man's hurt my babies ever. Listen, I would never let no woman hurt my kids. Well, kid, right? Well, now I got kids. I got PJ's kid too. So kids, I wouldn't. Well, my kid's grown. She's a grown up, so she ain't quite a kid anymore. She's about to be 26 this year. She's still my baby, right? Yeah.
You'd have a field day.
Oh yeah, you mess with my child, I'm going to prison, right? I'm going to prison. So I don't see how she, she's one of these I'm going to stand by my man kind of people. And, I usually tend to feel sorry for people when they're abused and beat on, and because there's battered women syndrome, and there's Stockholm syndrome and all these other things. But at this point, being away from this man for this long, and he can't get to you, and you still not telling the truth, how sorry can I really feel for you at this point? I think you have to be punished on the same level as Jake. Now, I don't believe Rebecca killed this baby. I think it's all Jake. He has the history. Rebecca never had a history of hurting kids, and she has other kids that are still alive. The only difference is she had this kid with this man, and now this baby is missing and presumed dead. So I think that the whole key to this is Jake, right? A lot of people believe that Rebecca had something to do with the death of the baby, but I believe that she covered it up because she loves her man, because he's a younger dude and she's an older woman. I mean, I think that is what it is. I think she likes that man, and she's chose this man over her baby, right?
I agree, but
it's the same thing I believe in Katie Proudfoot's situation with Sebastian Rogers there in Tennessee, that she chose her man over her child. And you got to think about it. Sebastian was already 15 years old. So there's a lot of cases where women choose the men over their children. That has nothing to do with it. You say that, but we don't know. We don't know what she's thinking. Maybe she thinks, hey, I can't do better than this. I got me a young, good-looking man. I want to keep him. and she's chose him over the kid. You may think it has nothing to do with it, but then why is she doing it? Give me an explanation why she's standing by her man and not telling on him for murdering this baby when we all know he murdered the baby, allegedly. Okay?
I don't think you'd ever understand that.
Jake is in a gang. He knows not to say anything. There are female gang members in jail. They'll hurt her. That man ain't in no gang. You see this dude? There ain't nothing about that dude says gangbanger. Nothing. Not to me, anyway. Okay? I mean, I've been locked up with gang members. That dude ain't one of them. I don't know. I'm just saying what her's going through her mind, right? Because I can't figure out why she's standing up for the man unless she loves the man. You hurt my brain. Please read my comment. Okay, I just read that comment. Was there another comment? All right, so I have to watch him do this to her baby. Didn't mentally mess her up. You're crazy. Come on now. Okay, if it didn't mess her, why ain't she talking? Explain that. I mean, y'all have all these.
You said Stockholm syndrome. You know what that is?
Yes, where you side with your captor.
Right.
But she ain't in captivity. She's not captured. Right? So the only thing it could fall under is battered women syndrome or battered wife syndrome.
When you spend a certain amount of time with somebody and you become comfortable, even if it's, how many people do you know that stay with each other that are abusive to each other?
A lot, but I'm saying she's standing by her man. That's a choice she made. She's not forced to do it.
Yeah, but clearly she's been abused and doesn't think she can get any better. Her self-esteem is clearly not.
No, you got to give her life right along with him.
I agree.
At this point, I gave her mercy. I gave her grace in the beginning. At this point, I can't give her none of that. I say she goes down for the rest of her life in prison with him, and she had every opportunity to talk, to come forward, and she hasn't done it, and she's still lying. Right? And they're telling her they know she's lying, and she's still lying to them. Now, does she have some mental health issues? I don't know the lady good enough to know if she has mental health issues or not. But something's wrong with her, because if you allow a man to kill your baby and don't do nothing wrong about it, something's wrong with you.
Right.
Right? So something's definitely wrong with this woman. What that is, I mean, I'm not a professional expert to tell you what is exactly wrong with her, but something is wrong with her. And whatever it is, she needs to sit in prison for the rest of her life and figure it out. Okay? And this should never happen to another baby, or given the opportunity to happen to another baby. Because this lady could get out of jail, and next thing you know, have more kids, and then get up with some loser ass dude that hurts them kids. I think her picker's broke. She's codependent on him. I give no grace anymore. There you go. I mean, there's a certain amount of time that I give you a little leniency. Like, okay, they got you. If you were beat on, now it's the time to tell. He can't hurt you no more. He can't control you anymore. Tell the truth. Let us know where the baby's at. And she hasn't done any of those things. So to me, at this point, it's no mercy for her.
I mean, I agree.
She is the enemy, and the enemy deserves no mercy. Just like Jake, he deserves no mercy. The fact that California don't have the death penalty is a shame, because they should take this dude out back. And
California does have the death penalty, but it's been
extreme cases.
Right. So
ain't that extreme though?
That's what I'm saying. Who's to say they won't?
The DA didn't even put in for a death penalty. They just charged him with murder, but they didn't even try to go for a death penalty in this case.
Murder with malice?
Murder with malice, yeah.
Doesn't that make it an extreme circumstance? I mean,
I think it's extreme circumstances. I believe this man should be executed. I mean, he done destroyed the lives of 2 babies. What worse crime can you commit in the United States other than hurting a child? That's the worst crime there is. He's done killed 2 kids.
I agree.
Well, one's physically alive, but what type of life does she have?
I read she had 3% brain function.
3% brain function, right? So she's basically going to have somebody take care of her for the rest of her life, while this man has 3 hots and a cot and free dental and medical insurance, right?
And I don't know if it's his son, but the cousin that adopted
he
also adopted another boy that had fetal alcohol syndrome because Vanessa was drinking.
And he won't even be on death row or anything.
Yeah.
He'll be eligible for parole.
Says who? Why can't they charge him without giving him that?
They ain't.
What?
Yeah, I mean, his charge. They parole you out in California.
That's not even. That's not.
Yeah,
right.
so he'll have the opportunity one day maybe be paroled out. I think it's crazy and ridiculous. I think they should throw the book at these people. And everybody thinks it's going to be so difficult without the body because they're not finding this body. Listen, this is my prediction right now. They are not finding this body. If they were going to find the body, they would have already found it. If Jake was talking like that, he would have done told. The only chance they got is to flip Rebecca. And if they can't flip Rebecca and she's going to stick to this crazy story, then they're never going to find that baby. And if they don't find that baby, I just think, if they did find blood in the house, if them rumors are true, because right now them are just rumors. We don't know that to be factual truth or not. But if they found blood in the house, his previous record, I believe circumstantial evidence will be enough to convict him. Okay. Now her, it's going to be a little bit harder to convict her. I think Jake is the easy conviction. I think Rebecca is the hard conviction. And unless, Jake testifies against Rebecca, then it may be a little bit easier to convict her for this. Because you got to remember, she's going to say she was abused and beat when it comes time. Right now, she's not saying that. But as soon as that DA gets in her ear, that she got a former DA as the attorney, he's going to tell her, hey, look, this is what you got to say. Unless you want to spend the rest of your life in prison with Jake, you're going to have to say that this man beat on you. You were scared of him. You were in fear for your life. He did it. You had nothing to do with it. You were just scared. They're still going to put her in prison. Don't get me wrong, because she lying to authorities. He ain't going to be able to, DA dude, her lawyer's not going to be able to keep her out of prison. But what he may be able to do is keep her from getting life in prison. And I'm thinking that's the plan once it hits. If not, he's doing her an injustice, right? Which, listen, I want her to go to prison forever. But you got to know how these lawyers work. They get paid to lie, all right? They get paid to spin the story. So that's what I believe will happen when the time comes, because it really don't matter what she says right now. It matters what she says when she walks in front of that judge and that jury. That's when all the cards need to be put on the table. Right now, the game ain't started. Okay, just the arrest and the investigation's going. The game is when you walk into that courtroom and how it's played. And any smart attorney would play it as she's an abused woman. We've seen her on the news with 2 black eyes, beat up. They lie for money. I mean, that's what they do. They get paid to go in there and make up crazy stories.
Right, look at Karen Reed. They didn't
make
the whole storyline flipped onto the
Yeah, they turned the whole Karen Reed into a conspiracy against the police, and Karen Reed walked. So, I mean, you see what lawyers can do. And Karen Reed in the beginning said it was just an accident.
Her lawyer came up and tried to tell the world that she loved this man and that she never would have hurt him, that it was an accident. Yeah.
And then you see how it changed when she got the high-profile lawyer, Alan Jackson. Next thing you know, she didn't even do it. The police did it. She was at home. She wasn't even there, right? So things have changed, but from the arrest until we actually see them in the courtroom. And they got court arraignment September 4th. I guarantee you they both plead not guilty.
I think they automatically put him in for that.
What, not guilty plea?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they haven't made a plea yet. They won't have that opportunity to the 4th.
Right.
That's their arraignment.
I thought with high sentences like that they automatically get put in as not guilty.
No, you can plead guilty.
Oh. Okay.
Usually you don't get your attorney until your arraignment. But since they're so high profile, they've already got their attorneys. So the one that's representing her is pro bono. the DA guy.
His is pro bono too.
I think his is from the DA's office.
Oh, he's got like
He has a public defender. She has
okay.
a pro bono attorney
That
that
makes
was a
sense.
former DA. So,
I wonder if he just like volunteered himself. or
nobody, no deal, in my opinion. That body's never
Wow.
going to be found. And if they did, let's just say the neighbors are right and they did throw it out there in the desert, animals had done got that body. That thing could be in a wolf's den, a coyote den somewhere, dingo den. I don't think they got that's Australia, right? Dingoes, wild dogs. There's all kinds of things in them damn deserts. I would, so the chances of them recovering this body at this point is probably pretty damn slim. So I can't wait for the trial to begin myself. And like I told you guys, when it comes time, oh, we got 621 likes. Okay. I came on my vacation to give y'all this information. So do me a favor real quick, guys. What's up, Elevated Truth? Hit the like button. And then I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from tonight. Me, myself, I am Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Me and PJ's going to hit the beach tomorrow. But I want you guys to like the video. And then in the chat, shout out where you're watching from. Don't cheat. Let's get the video up to 1,000 likes at least. And then I'll shut my pie hole. And I got some really good news that I want to discuss in just a minute after you guys like the video and all that good. I see Los Angeles, New York, West Virginia, more New York, Iowa, Bowling Green, Kentucky, Indiana, Texas, Florida, more Arizona, Florida, Arizona. A lot of Arizona tonight. North Carolina, Ohio, California, Central Valley. With the blood, the Simpsons, this amount of blood caused just a baby. And so much blood in his past, it's over. Illinois, Columbus, Ohio is with us. Ontario. I hope they find Jack and Lily Sullivan there from Ontario. Georgia's in the house with us. San Antonio. Sympathy for a baby abuser. She doesn't deserve anything except jail. I agree. But listen, I agree that she should never, ever be out of prison. But is that going to happen? That's the thing. We're dealing with court systems that are very weak on crime. Okay, California, look what happened with Jake. He basically hurt a baby so bad it'll never have a normal life, and he didn't even go to jail. Okay, so
Didn't he spend one day?
And we know a lot of California. Listen, for you California people, y'all are a little against the death penalty and a little bit of easy on crime there in Cali. Not all of you. Some of you believe the same way I do, that you should be tougher on these kids, especially crimes against kids. But we just don't know what's going to happen. I honestly, I'm waiting to see, just like each and every one of you guys. But I'm thinking how it's going to play out, because I've sat through a lot of these murder trials. Me myself personally, I don't know how many murder trials you've sat through, but I've sat through a bunch of them. Okay, from Megan Boswell to Adam Montgomery to Leilani Simon. So I've sat through some of these trials and covered a lot of them here on YouTube too. Other trials, right? I know there's going to be. They ain't going to just walk in there and say they done it. I know that, okay? And I think you guys are smart enough to know that they're not just going to walk into the courtroom and say they done it. That probably is not going to happen, right? That just ain't going to happen. They're going to either say we got nothing to do with it, the baby was kidnapped, and leave it up to the police to prove that the baby wasn't.
Which is easy to prove.
Well, it depends on what videos they have. We know they have video evidence, but we don't know what that video evidence is. But we know early on that they had video evidence, because that's why they called her on her lies.
We've seen the video evidence.
Whether she had the black eye beforehand.
Yeah, and then we saw the video from the surveillance on that one channel, And then
But that didn't show anything.
it did. It showed people pulling up and another car and her pulling up. It showed her not getting out with any kind of baby. It didn't show her getting hit or anything. It showed her on video.
And I don't think it was that clear like that. We're gonna see. We're definitely gonna see how it plays out. But the whole thing is, we know it's a lie, right? If she don't go in there and say she was forced to tell that story, she's going to prison for at least 20, 30 years.
I think she should.
I mean, I think she should go to prison
I'm
too.
all about the fact that she's clearly a battered, abused woman, but at some point you need to stop caring for yourself and recognize the little baby's helpless.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ability to take it out of the situation if, for whatever reason, the man is abusing you.
I mean, you see the car pull into the parking lot and stuff, but you don't really see every detail of what's going on in that video.
You don't see her get hit by anybody.
Oh, I didn't see her get hit by anybody, of course. Oh, okay. And the good news today for you guys, this is not about Emmanuel Haro, but it's about Brandy Neal Vaughan. Okay, so Brandy Neal, has been in and out of the hospital. She's been since, her health kind of took a downward turn after her child, Michael Monkey Vaughan, was kidnapped. Okay, it's been almost 4 years, right? So, and way too long, right? There be no arrest in the Michael Monkey Vaughan case. And Brandy went through a lot of depression, drinking to fight her demons. And in that, the drinking took a toll on her health, along with depression and all that. And her her liver.
Yeah, she got cirrhosis of the liver.
She got cirrhosis of the liver. And to be that young with cirrhosis of the liver too. Yeah. So she needed a liver transplant. So she had been in and out the hospital.
She had the C word.
Yeah, she had the C word, the big bad stuff that be taking everybody out. And like 4 years ago, when I met Brandy for the first time, I flew out to Fruitland, Idaho. It was the first time I went to the West Coast covering true crime. And she was a good-sized woman, right? She had meat on her bones. Not saying she was fat or anything like that. I'm just saying she had weight to her. She looked healthy.
She was normal.
Yeah, she looked like a healthy woman. To see her 4 years later, and she's such a sweet, strong woman, but she just looks like a bag of bones, right? She just looks like a bag of bones.
Scary.
It's kind of it's sad to see her, right? Because, I knew her before all this and what she looked like before all this. And she looks so different, and it's so heartbreaking and so sad. But anyway, so she was having some internal problems, bleeding and stuff like that. So they took her to the hospital. So they got her all right, and they flew her back. They had to fly. Where did they fly her to? Utah?
Utah.
They flew her to Utah for like emergency surgery.
Where the specialist was for her
liver. So they got her back stable, and they flew her back home to Fruitland, Idaho. Soon as she got back home, they found a liver for Brandy Neal. So they flew her back to Utah, right, where they have transplanted a new liver to Michael Monkey Vaughan's mother. Okay, now the good news is she has had the transplant. She is doing okay. She's still in the hospital. She's
going to be there for a while.
Yeah, she's going to be there a while. She ain't out the water yet, but she is doing okay. As of now, she is doing okay, which is great news, right? Great.
It's a miracle.
We got to pray that her body don't reject the liver, that everything heals up, she gets back to normal and lives a full, healthy life. And not only that, but gets answers for her son, right? Because that was one of the things that worried me so bad. I was like, man, if she leaves this world and she don't get no answers for Monkey.
She promised Buggy she would find Michael and get answers.
Yeah. And, it's just a terrible situation because everybody believes we know who took Michael Monkey Vaughan. right? There's alleged that
Well, the DA showed her the papers they have drawn up on the 4 suspects, and they know basically what happened, who did what,
Yeah.
but they're not charging.
So the suspects or alleged suspects, we're gonna say this: Stacy Wander, Sarah Wander, uh, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian are the 4 people that are believed to be responsible for the kidnapping, and death of Michael Monkey Vaughan. And these people right now are walking free. Okay.
Well, actually, they're not.
Well, technically,
2 of them are not.
2 of them, they're in jail for unrelated things. Okay. They're in jail, but they're not in jail for Michael Monkey Vaughan. Okay. Stacy's in jail and Sarah's in jail.
Stacy might have gotten out, but Sarah's definitely in jail.
Yeah, Sarah's still in jail. She was in there, what, to 2026?
7,
7?
I think. Uh-huh.
It was like 3 years a year ago. So you might be right.
I think it was 7. But she was put there due to charges of her brandishing a weapon and throwing a dog bone and hitting her roommate in the head because he wanted to move the barbecue grill, which allegedly was in the backyard and may or may not have been on top of some remains.
Yeah, they buried Michael in the backyard, put the grill on top of him.
And the roommate
Then they
went to
moved
grill.
it. Then they moved his body.
Right.
So, and where he ended up after that, who knows? But these people do, they definitely do. And that's a lot to deal with as a person, especially, demons are real. When you're battling depression and you go to the bottle to try to fight those demons, and all it's doing is killing you. And that's what it was doing to Brandy. And let's just pray that she makes it, make a long story short, that she makes it and she heals up and she recovers from this so she can continue to fight for Michael Monkey Vaughan. Because if somebody ain't out there fighting for you, I just feel like the police won't do nothing. They'll just let it go on. And because there's so much stuff that happens in this world, they just move on to the next case. And Monkey Vaughan will just get left.
I told her that if that DA didn't file those charges, I was going to go up there and handcuff myself to the tree in front of the DA's office.
Something needs to be done, definitely. And just their inconsistent statements. I bet anybody 5 right now that if they let me talk to the woman and actually show her we could keep her safe, or they would do it, she would come around. Are you talking about Rebecca? I know you ain't talking about Sarah. Sarah is a weirdo. And Rebecca, I don't think Rebecca's going to talk. All right?
I think she will eventually. It just takes time.
What, when they give her life in prison? It's too late to talk then. She needs to be talking right now. If she's going to talk, she needs to talk right now before this goes to court and everybody, because right now we're looking at her like she's just as guilty as he is. She's losing time by the minute. Every day that goes by, nobody feels sorry for her. Does anybody in here feel sorry for Rebecca Haro? If you do, press 1. If you don't, press 2.
I mean, I do a little, but not enough to not convict her.
You know me, I feel sorry for everybody, and I don't feel sorry for her. That should tell you a lot, right? Because I feel sorry for her. I'm just
I gotta clarify something. You've got people in chat commenting things like, poor woman, most alcoholics would not qualify for the list. I'm glad they helped her. Nobody said she was an alcoholic. She had some struggles with alcohol while her son was missing in the beginning. It's not
for me to say that. I'm just saying that, some people turn to the bottle to fight demons. Okay. And when you're doing that, you may be thinking you're getting rid of those demons, but you're just hurting yourself. Right.
I just wanted to say we don't necessarily know that the two even went hand in hand. Like there's
There's people that drink every day. There's people that drink every day and don't have liver problems. There's people that never drink and have liver problems.
And someone
know?
said, well, she's going to need to stop drinking so she don't fry the noodle. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're
Yeah,
wrong.
don't be heartless in the chat room. Let's just be happy that this woman is here, no matter what the circumstances are. If she was doing drugs and standing on her head with 2 kegs pumped into her mouth, that don't matter. What matters is this woman is alive and she's fighting for her life. Like, that's like me when I had my heart attack. People be like, well, he shouldn't eat chicken. He shouldn't eat greasy food. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the time for that. The time for it is to be like, thank God Dolly's alive. Thank God Brandy Neal is alive. That's where we're at. And if you ain't on that page, then, shoulda, coulda, woulda is in the past. We're in the present. The present is this woman's fighting for her life and she needs prayers. And my prayer warriors out there, I want you to pray for her, because I believe the power of prayer works. That's the reason I'm here with you today, is because of all the people that were praying for me when I had that heart attack. There wasn't room for people to be like, well, Dolly shouldn't have been eating them combo meals from Mickey D's, right? No, it ain't about that. It's
that
about...
drove me nuts. Right after you had the heart attack, people said bad stuff like,
yeah,
well, because you spoke your opinion on something, and they're like, well, you would think that he got a new hope to life last week when he had his heart attack, that he wouldn't be so mean. Just because you have your opinion does not give anybody a right to wish a heart
God
attack on you.
kept me around
disgusting.
for a reason, because I fight for these people. That these people needed somebody to fight for them, and that's why God didn't take me out of here. He knew my mission wasn't over, because not only was y'all praying, but you can believe this, when I was laying in that hospital, I was praying too. And I was telling them I wasn't done. There's a lot more fight left in me, and there's things that I needed to take care of and do. And I believe I'm here for a reason. I don't think I just stumbled across this stuff. I believe that everything happens for a reason on this planet. And like I tell people, I didn't pick true crime. True crime picked me. Let's see what this says. Dolly, within the last 2 hours, an unalive baby believed to be less than a day old in a park here in Indianapolis, Indiana. That is horrible. I mean, people are just throwing their babies in the trash like it's nothing. It's horrible, and it's heartless, and there's so many people that would love to have a baby or a child, and to just sling a baby in the trash like that is just unbelievable. Demonic, yeah. So what do we do with these parents that are doing this? I watched a lady, what was it, in Texas? She had the baby in a trash bag. She spun that thing around, slung it right in the dumpster. On video, they let her out on an ankle bracelet. So why, how can you get out of jail with something like that? What about the girl, the Vizio girl that threw the baby in the trash can at the hospital?
Oh, yeah.
And they let her go. She went to college. For Brandy, she wouldn't get a new liver if she was an alcoholic. If she was drinking, she quit and got a new liver. Please don't be rude for that mama. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. So I don't know when she quit drinking, but she battled a lot of demons. And let me tell you this. Most of us have never fought the fight that Brandy has fought, okay? This woman's had her kid kidnapped from her baby. Really kidnapped. Didn't hurt her baby. Is a great mother. Has other kids she takes really good care of. We don't know what type of toll that takes on you or your body or your health. Well, right? Stress will kill you. It's a silent killer.
The reason that you're even mentioning that is because she publicly spoke on what it was like to have lost her child, and she spoke about how she was drinking a lot at one point.
Mm-hmm.
We do not technically know that her conditions are related to that time in her life where she was drinking.
Yeah. Let's see. What does this say? Oh, wow. No, we haven't, and we shouldn't judge her. Yeah, it ain't about judging her to me. I'm just glad. I am happy. Like I said, it's really good news.
She's the strongest person I know.
That she has made it through surgery. And I told PJ that. I said, Brandy's a strong woman. I said, if anybody can make it through this, she'll make it through it. And I kept telling PJ not to worry.
I was freaking out.
Yeah. And I'm like, listen, I know this woman, and I've followed her for the last 4 years. I've seen her fight the best fight she can humanly fight, even sick, every day, fighting for her son. And she is the poster child for what a missing parent should be. So last thing I want is something to happen to her, right? What I want to happen to her is her to get justice for her son. That's it. Nothing bad, but only good things from here out. And especially in this room, you know, we've tried to help Brandy as much as we could over the last few years. Every year, we try to do something really good for her because I just couldn't imagine it. You know, I'm a father, right? I couldn't imagine something like that happening to my kid. I'd have lost my mind, right? Or I'd been in prison, or I'd been in a crazy hospital somewhere. I just don't know how she stayed so strong and was able to fight as much as she has, because she's a stronger person than me. I told her that personally. I was like, listen.
She had a conversation with Stacey Wander, basically face to face, on video.
Yeah.
Where he started saying certain things like, "Oh, I've never been charged for sexual anything. I just had some firearm violence."
Yeah. Why would he have said the
that?
sexual stuff? Yeah. Nobody ever accused him of anything sexual, and he just brought that out. Yeah. He is listen, that is a nasty, scummy piece of lard. Okay. I tend not to say nothing bad. I try not to say nothing too bad about people, but oh my God, this dude is just disgusting. How is Brandy's husband doing? I'm sure he ain't doing that great.
They're going to have to go back and forth to Utah for a while. They made a post about her needing help and to send Cash App or PayPal if you can. I've reshared it.
And I'm sure Tyler has a lot of regret, and he's dealing with the person he loves on the, you know, battling for her life. How good could he be doing? I don't think he's doing great. I wouldn't think. Would you be doing great if the person you loved is in and out of the hospital, may die? Your kid is gone. I mean, I'm sure his stress level is probably through the roof too, you know, and he has to live with that regret of just, you know, walking in the other room to order food, and Monkey slipped out the house. So he has to deal with that for the rest of his life. Can you imagine having to deal with that type of regret? Oh man, if I would have just been there, and what if I'd have did this? What if I'd have done that? What if I'd have done this? Them what ifs, man, I'm worried about his health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stress is terrible. Stress, like I said, is the silent killer. And if Brandy is that stressed to where it's took a toll on her health, imagine how stressed Tyler is, the father. He's probably twice as stressed and probably feels somewhat responsible for what has happened. But it ain't his fault that there's monsters, right? Any normal kid in that neighborhood, Robin, thank you so much, Robin. Robin's on the Blessed Express with us, okay? You ain't blessed unless you want the Express. Get you a nice window seat, buckle up. You know, that neighborhood was a nice neighborhood. You would think all day long that your kid can go out in the front yard and play, and nothing would happen to him. But what they didn't know was some big, fat, nasty slob of a human being lived in the next neighborhood over and was living off their mamas and what they could screw out of the system in this beautiful neighborhood. They live in a beautiful neighborhood. I mean, it has a splash pad, a little water park in the front of it.
And there's still people that blame them.
Yeah, there's still
even
people.
After they got fully cleared by the
DA.
DA.
Yeah, the police came out and said they absolutely have nothing to do with the disappearance of their kid. They cleared them. One, Brandy was at work.
Yeah.
I mean, she was clearly at work, and they know the kid was at the house because the neighbor brought the kid home.
That's the part that gets me, is that the neighbor brought the 5-year-old little boy to the front yard.
But didn't watch him go in the house.
Oh, God.
And then he got kidnapped.
Because he went back. Because he was looking for kids to
play with. He was just looking for somebody to play with. It is such a heartbreaking story. Like, it's just, I don't even know what to say about it. But let's just be thankful today like I said, that there is good news for Brandy, that she is with
I
us,
mean, I just
that
can't
she got the
imagine.
liver transplant, and hopefully she makes a full recovery. And then let's pray for a miracle that we get justice for Michael Monkey Vaughan. Let's put an end to this story and let this family move on with their life. Because we got other stories out there that are just like unbelievable too, like Jack and Lily Sullivan. No arrest, parents inconsistent statements. And I can't be mad at a parents that love their baby, but I can be mad at parents that don't. Okay, because I'll never understand that. I will never understand how parents cannot love their kids. If you don't love your kid, don't have the kids. There's so many different types of birth control these days. You don't have to have a baby. I mean, damn near California, you can abort a baby till it's 9 months old. You know what I'm saying? Till it's 18. You can get rid of the kid at any time, right?
Phoenix asked, did they ever find the guy with the leg tattoo in Mobile?
That was Brandon Shirtliff.
Yeah.
We believe that was Brandon Shirtliff in that video. And yeah, they found him. We know where he's at. The police know where he's at.
I would bet my life savings and all the money I made from here on out that was Brandon.
Yeah, I'd put this Dolly Vision hat on it, okay? That you can get at the merch store right now. We're almost sold out of them, ain't we? We got the pink hat.
The pink hat.
You got yours with you?
Not up here. I think
Okay. Yeah, we got the pink Dolly Vision hats for women. Or if you don't like pink, you're a woman, we got the black ones, Dolly Vision True Crime. And we also have a pink one with flowers on it. So
that one only has a couple left.
There's only a couple left of those in the merch store. So go to buydollysoap.com, get you a Dolly True Crime hat while you can. All the cool kids are wearing them right now. If you were just a big old lame-o, you probably need my hat. Okay. If you just a lame ass person, look, you put this hat on, you instantly become cool. Right? People walking down the street can be like, damn, you watch Dolly, right? You might make some friends. All right. And if you're single, a dude's gonna be like, yo, I like your hat. And he can be like, hey, what up, baby? You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you're married with 3 kids. You're married with 3 kids, all because you got yourself a Dolly hat. You and PJ are really doing great. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us. Brandy must make it. She has other babies. Definitely. The other kids are important. Buggy is the youngest of them. She's, how old is Buggy now?
She's just turned 5, 4.
She's the cutest little girl on the planet. Okay.
And they all look like Brandy.
Yeah, they do. All her kids look just like her.
Wild. Her kids look like identical twins to her.
Can you do the flower hat with autumn color, please? Well, the hat is what the hat is. All right. So that's the one with the flowers. That's limited edition. So you better get it while you can. Michael Monkey Vaughan's a cute kid.
Yeah, he is.
So I like watching them dance and to like jelly roll and stuff. So she spends a lot of time with her kids, and let's just hope and pray that she has plenty more time to spend with her kids. So
I'm going to take a shower.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get out of here, guys. It's almost my bedtime. I've been here with you guys an hour. We did a ton of driving today. We drove for 10 hours, something like that. So I'm pretty tired. So we're getting up tomorrow. We're hanging out here in Myrtle Beach. For any of my Myrtle Beach people out here, we'll be here tomorrow till about nighttime. And then we're rolling out from here to Savannah. And then from Savannah to somewhere in Florida. All right. So we're going to be on the road the rest of this week. A lot of people have been asking me, when is Turtle Island going to start? I got the list out Friday of who's going to be in the game. And if you don't know, Turtle Island is on my other channel, Dolly Uncensored. And what it is like, it's like a game of Survivor, but with YouTubers. It's like a fantasy game. So we put all these YouTubers on the island, and then it's like a call-in show. People can call in and vote off who they want to vote off the island. So that'll start when I get back because I'm going to Universal to the haunted houses. They got a bunch of haunted houses at Universal. And so, you know me, I love horror movies and all that scary stuff. So PJ wanted to go on vacation anyway. So we're going to go hit. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to, really, is the damn haunted houses at Universal. So we're going to be down in Florida, and then we're going to head back. And when we come back, we're going to do some searching for some missing people. Two of those people are Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, Holly Snap. Okay. So any chance I get to be in Tennessee, I like to be down there so I can do some searching, looking. I got my drones, I got my search gear with me. I threw all that in the car before I left. So the way down there is just vacation, you know, and YouTubing, of course. But then on the way back, we're going to do some true crime sleuthing. Watch out down at Myrtle Beach. Everybody keeps saying that. I mean, it does look like a shithole so far. I've been here before. I've been here a few times before. My band used to play down here a lot. So I've been here a bunch of times. Will y'all ever do a meet and greet? We did a meet and greet in Tennessee, right? And we may decide to have one coming up when we get back to Tennessee. St. Augustine, Florida is filled with haunted sites. Before leaving South Carolina, stop at the open air market in Charleston. Okay. Y'all stay safe, PJ and Dolly. Yeah, I mean, I went to the gas station just a few minutes ago to get a drink. And I mean, it looked, you know, there were some homeless people out there laying on the curb and stuff. But you got to remember, I done been to LA, Vegas, Atlanta, New York, New Jersey. I've seen some bad shit, okay? North Myrtle is great. Okay. There are roughly 460,000 missing children in the U.S. every year, with the majority, around 90%, being runaways, but thousands remain missing active cases and cold cases. I don't look for runaways. I don't look for parental abductions either. Like a mama didn't show up for court and stole the kid and ran off. I don't look for kids like that. I only look for kids that I believe that there's foul play. Every now and then I will look for a runaway. If it's close by, you know, I'll try to help if I'm asked, usually. But for the most part, I only look for foul play cases. You know, Dolly's team foul play. So to get me to play the game, there has to be some foul play, but not always. I can't say always. There's been a couple cases I've looked for missing people. I looked for Juan Sebastian. He was missing. They found him dead. Jake Fetter was a grown-ass man. I looked for him. They found him butt naked running through the woods. Avra Hooks, I believe there was foul play in that. We found her body. Okay. Who else? There was a little girl that was in Northern Virginia, and she ran away. I thought she was kidnapped. So I thought it was foul play, but it wasn't. And she had ran away, and she was staying in a trailer down the street, and she was like 9 years old. And they found her. So that was good. So, you know, it is what it is. Still looking for Summer, Michael, Harmony, Holly, Sebastian. I'm still looking for all of them. I haven't given up on any of these kids. Now, I haven't searched for Harmony Montgomery, right? Because Harmony, they put her in a U-Haul and took her somewhere, and they may have put her body in different places. So I haven't never searched for Harmony Montgomery, but I did go set through the trial. I went to all the locations where everything happened. I took you guys with me, but I never actually physically searched for Harmony Montgomery. I don't think it would do any good, to be honest. I wouldn't even know where to look. That's the bad thing. Like in these other cases, there's, you know, general areas of interest, but Harmony Montgomery, he drove hours in a U-Haul truck somewhere, and there's no telling where that baby's at. So, and we know she was dead. So we know that child's dead, and the mother was awarded $2 million. Crystal. So, all right, I think this is my kid calling. It is. All right, guys, y'all be good. Stay safe. Dolly loves you. I'll see y'all next time. Hey, Tiff.
What are you doing?
I was just wrapping up my stream.